Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Everybody, welcome to Sports Podcast. I am Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always, is the Sports Outsider, Phil Ranta.
You said that very quickly and you screwed up.
A little bit. I was going to see how fast I could get through all of it.
That was pretty impressive, but I don't think people caught it. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Sports Podcast. Joel Anderson was the first one to speak, and Jordan Pomaville was the second one.
Yes.
And then I am the Sports Outsider. Don't know much about sports. Name is Phil Ranta.
Okay.
We got through that very quickly.
And then also, that felt more informative than Joel's.
Yeah.
Joel's felt more like entertainment. Yours felt more like infotainment.
Well, that's the thing. Joel's was for the fans of the show. Mine was for the people who are listening for the first time. Welcome, first-time listeners. Glad to have you.
It's about time.
Wow.
I'm not taking that attitude. Hey,
no, I haven't listened to the podcast yet.
I think this is wonderful. You know, welcome.
I wish you hadn't said that, Phil, because now I'm thinking about what if this is the first time anybody's ever listened to the podcast, and now I'm in my head. Now I'm worried. Now we have to put on a good show.
Joel, just try to be funny this week.
But what if I am, and then people expect me to be funny every week? I can't sustain that.
That's the most Midwestern thing you've ever said in your life. That wins.
That's not true. I say all sorts of Midwestern things.
That was the most.
Okay.
Johnny Manziel, update, watch, update.
Johnny Manziel, update, watch, update. Brought to you by
Bags. Put stuff inside of a bag today.
Hey, I am really glad we're getting these more generic sponsorships by like associations because they got a lot of money to spend.
Yeah, the Bag Council.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
now that they're charging 10 cents a bag in California, they're making a lot of money. That Bag Council.
Well, they're looking to spend some dough just to spread the word out about bags.
That's true.
Yeah.
A lot of different types of bags.
It's pretty interesting.
Paper, plastic, party, tea, tote, back.
Guys, the
That's
bag
more of a pack.
The Bag Council lobby is extremely powerful. I mean, have you noticed every time you go to the grocery store, you have to walk out of there with bags?
Well, it's because I have a lot of stuff to carry, though.
Canvas.
Yeah.
Canvas is another bag.
Hey,
Book.
Jordan.
That's true.
You have a lot of stuff to carry. Do you carry it out in a box?
Johnny Manziel's Workout Pro Day was probably the biggest event in sports since Johnny Manziel treated his last offseason like a bush by a frat house where a homeless person lives. Something to piss all over.
Oh.
Yikes.
But what made the day special? SportsCenter interrupted Coors Light's Cold Hard Facts with Barry Melrose to air it live.
Son of a bitch, that's frustrating.
Something which Barry Melrose probably apologized for. Oh, sorry. I didn't know I shouldn't have come in today. I'll just pay for my own parking and go. He had a huge entourage that came in with him. And if Johnny Football was Vinny, then I think it's safe to say other members of his entourage, George H.W. Bush, was E.
Yes.
Oh.
And Barbara Bush was Sloan.
Oh, yeah.
Vinny got them back together, guys.
About time.
Yeah. George H.W. Bush, because he's the smart one.
Yeah, Herbert Walker was a wise guy.
Oh, H.W. Sorry.
I was, if it was W, I think I would have gone with Turtle because of the drugs.
Right, absolutely. On board.
I don't know. I
I'm
wanted
with
one
ya.
that had the love interest is what I was going
Sorry,
for.
I was being a doofus.
Because he's got babs.
All the people listening for the first time are going to think I'm stupid.
Okay, so, but most of all, what made this special was his attire. Instead of the usual athletic shorts and T-shirts most players wear to the workout, Johnny Football wore a matte black helmet, shoulder pads, a black Nike jersey, and a totally sweet black, white, and gray camouflage pattern shorts.
Nice.
Jeez, is someone angling to get their picture on the sartorialist?
The what?
Was that like the Onion? What's going on?
Sartorialist. It's like
Satire.
am I pronouncing that wrong?
No,
Oh,
no.
man.
Satirist?
No, it's a website where they photograph people on the street in New York who
No
are fashionably
such.
dressed.
Oh, yeah. The old guy.
I am
Social media, Phil. I'm
Yep.
surprised you.
unfamiliar
I don't care
with
much
this
for
website.
fashion, in case you didn't notice.
We'll
Hold on, let me get my
save
feather
it
boa
for the
away
fashion
from the microphone.
podcast.
Yeah.
Johnny Football was baffled that some people cared so much about his style choices. You play the game in shoulder pads on Sundays. Why not come out here and do it? Come out here and treat this like a business day. Treat this as a game day.
Fuck yeah, dude's a fucking football player. Texas forever, yeehaw! Not like these mamby-pambies who wear shorts and a t-shirt. Johnny Football showed us how to play fucking football. It's in his fucking name. Lasso that piggy, boy!
During his workout...
Who let that guy in?
I don't... During his workout, Nike tweeted, "The future starts today. Don't get left behind." Assuming a reference to Rapture.
Okay.
But then they had a link to the site where you could buy replicas of Johnny Manziel's shorts, socks, cleats, and jersey from workout day. Nike officials later confirmed that the workout look had been coordinated in advance.
Oh.
I take it all back. What the fuck? High fashion Johnny Fifth Avenue. I thought you were a man-pamby piece of shit. Yeehaw! Sad guns.
His jersey could be pre-ordered on Nike's site for $180, and for an extra $50, Manziel will sign the jersey with his favorite Van Wilder quote.
Whoa.
Oh.
Spoiler alert, it's, "I'm sorry, boys, the bakery's closed."
Nice.
I don't think I've seen that movie all the way through.
There was jizz in the donuts.
Johnny Manziel, update, watch, update.
Johnny Manziel, update, watch, update. Brought to you by...
Bags. Put your apples in a bag someday.
Aspirational.
It is.
Yeah.
Someday, I'll put my apples in a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's saying you might not have bags now, but you can hope to at some point.
Ziploc. Garbage.
All right.
Douche.
What do we got in the show today?
Let's see. We have an interview.
Right,
With,
William Hogan.
William
Yeah.
Hogan.
This
yes.
is a famed Australian broadcaster. He does like the news.
Yeah,
on the...
everyone I spoke to in Australia described him with the exact same 3 words, and it's a national treasure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
A is a preposition.
like
we could
the
have gone with
movie
2
National
words.
Right.
Treasure?
No, well, they're just saying he's
If
beloved in
only.
Australia.
If only, then we'd have something.
He's
Yeah.
going to talk to us about his impressions of baseball. Obviously, first Major League Baseball games played in Australia.
That's right,
So
yeah.
pretty big deal.
Big deal.
We have a weird sportsman, Phil.
You're goddamn right we do.
Is it weird?
This one is one of the weirdest.
Ooh.
All right, and we got news.
We sure do. News on the Sports Podcast with Jordan, Joel, and Phil.
News. DeSean Jackson rolls with gangs.
What?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Cut by Philadelphia Eagles. Confirmed.
Oh.
This was first reported last week after our podcast was recorded.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles, home to the worst fans in the world as immortalized by the documentary Silver Linings Playbook, were unable to find a trade partner for DeSean Jackson. And like so many 5-year-olds trying to turn yogurt into fruit snacks at the lunch table, they've given up.
Good.
Left to simply complain to a mother who does not understand simple playground economics. Jackson is only 27. He had over 1,300 receiving yards last year and 9 a touchdown. He also seemed to be a perfect fit in Chip Kelly's offense.
Yeah.
He's an offensive guru.
Hard to understand how this could happen.
DeSean Jackson is an offensive player.
Yeah, this is an offensive thing to do to him.
Really a good fit.
Yeah.
He had hoped to get a new contract despite a base salary of more than $10 million.
He's worth more than that.
Yeah, okay. But the Eagles had re-signed Jeremy Maclin, Riley Cooper, which made Jackson more of a luxury than a necessity. Then NewJersey.com reported that the Eagles were concerned about Jackson's gang ties. I'm concerned with Eagles fans' gang ties.
Yeah. I'm concerned with gangs in general. They jump out at you.
Well, so first this all started because they were noticing a poor work ethic and missing meetings. And if you miss meetings, that can only mean one thing. Gang ties. The Eagles worried that Jackson's friends were a bad influence on him, said every mother of a bad child ever, but became even more concerned with Jackson's continued association with the reputed Los Angeles street gang who have been connected to 2 homicides since 2010.
I heard it was the Crips. They're not a reputed Los Angeles street gang. They are very much a very real Los Angeles street
Right.
gang.
Said every LAPD detective.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, just LAPD detective Eric Crossan.
Yeah.
Don't cross Crossan.
Haha.
And
He should be a crossing guard instead.
Yeah.
That'd be a better job for him.
It seems like ever since Urban Meyer trained killer Aaron Hernandez killed a guy,
Yeah.
teams want to get ahead of the issue.
Right.
They want to get out in front of it.
Yeah.
Before Jackson was released, a source within the Eagles organization who requested anonymity put, they are concerned about having him around the younger players.
Yikes.
Yeah. So in 2010, Theron Shakur, a purported member of the Crips,
Probably Shakir, right?
No, Shakur like Tupac.
Shakir, yeah, you're right. Shakir
Yeah.
was one of 2 men charged with a gang-related murder. Shakir is a friend of Jackson's and raps under the name T-Ron on Jackson's Jackpot Records. He was acquitted, but talk about mistakes. Getting into the dying music business, DeSean? Man, didn't you watch This Is 40? This is a bad financial decision.
Unless you can reach out to the YouTube or SoundCloud audiences, then it's thriving.
You know, they don't need a plug from you, Phil. They're doing just
Sports
fine.
podcast now on SoundCloud.
Ooh, okay, they do.
In 2012, another Los Angeles gang-related murder took place at a building owned by Jackson or his family members, and they found documents there like Jackson's gun permit and
Sure.
shit like that. There's no hard evidence, however, that Jackson is a member of the Crips. But in another story of millennials not understanding the power of social media to impact their careers, there are a ton of Instagram photos of Jackson with his gang friends flashing gang signs.
Yeah.
That could mean anything. Maybe he's taking an ASL class.
Supporters of Jackson have pointed to the fact that his record is relatively clean, with only 2 charges, and they're ones all celebrities and athletes have received: illegally tinted car windows and possession of marijuana.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are pretty run-of-the-mill. Like, if you're a celebrity,
yeah.
you're going to get those.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
gotten those.
Well, that's just those, your windows are too damn dark.
They're
Phil.
very dark.
Watch an eclipse in that car.
Yeah, that's why I smoke marijuana in it.
They all
Can't see me.
Jackson released a statement saying he's not in a gang and basically really emphasized the fact that he's an active member in the Philadelphia community, has been involved in several charities. Hyping up your status as an active member of the community is an important gangster deflection mechanism dating back to the Italian mafia.
Yeah.
Every mobster, every gangster ever, all they talk about is, I'm helping the community.
Hand out these turkeys, huh?
Haha.
He has also been particularly active in a campaign. He has a charity in a campaign against youth bullying, wherein Jackson instructs youth to form a gang to counter bullies. Daniel Murphy takes paternity leave for the birth of a child. New York radio personality is an asshole about it. Nobody is surprised. So Daniel Murphy, who plays for the New York Mets, New York Metropolitans, his wife went into labor on opening day, so he went to Florida to be present for the birth.
Aw.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's now taking the full 3 days of paternity leave allowed for MLB players.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's something negotiated for, you
Only
know?
3 days?
Yeah.
Wow, you can barely
Also,
welcome that baby.
He plays for the Mets. Take a week.
Yeah, right?
It's not going to matter.
However, Mike Francesca, a popular, I'm going to put that in quotes, New York sports radio personality, took great umbrage with Murphy's decision in what I believe is my best use of umbrage in a while.
It was really good.
Francesca says,
I don't know why you need 3 days off, I'm going to be honest. You see the birth and you get back. What do you do the first couple of days? Maybe you take care of the other kids. Well, you got to have someone to do it. That if you're a Major League Baseball player, but I'm sorry, but you do. Your wife doesn't need your help the first couple of days. You know that.
but he didn't stop there.
One day, I understand. Go see the baby be born and come back. You're a Major League Baseball player. You can hire a nurse to take care of the baby if your wife needs help. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and look at your wife in the hospital bed for 2 days?
What a colossal ass.
This guy's on the radio.
Yeah.
He doesn't belong on the radio. He belongs on a podcast if that's how he's going to act.
With the rest of the scum of the earth
Yeah,
on sports
Right, we're a bunch
podcast.
of dirtbags.
Yeah.
I mean, and not reported in this story is, like Joel said, the Mets fucking suck due to the ownership's association with Wizard of Wall Street, Bernie Madoff.
Yeah.
They will continue to suck and not win games until at least 2020.
Yeah.
Jeez.
These things
That's
are
unfortunate.
true. Lot of rough stuff over there in the East Coast.
Really.
I think Daniel Murphy is getting a bum rap. I think DeSean Jackson is getting a bum rap.
Well, here's the thing. It didn't even end in New York because on this is MLB radio host Craig Carton and Boomer Esiason. Yes, that Boomer Esiason
Is on MLB radio?
I believe they do a MLB baseball show. I could be wrong, but they said this about it.
Yeah.
You get your ass back to your team and you play baseball. There's nothing you can do. You're not breastfeeding the kid.
Whoa!
Well, that's an accurate statement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can't breastfeed. He's a dude.
Your poor wife who just went through labor, you might want to help out with.
You might want to hang. You might want to
spend
chill.
some time with
Her
your
body
child.
has been through a trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say having a child is basically the equivalent of a car accident.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know if that's true.
No, it's true. It
If the
gets
car
really
is
mangled down
driving
there.
out of you.
Yep, it's very mangled. Like it's a car accident that just hits one very sensitive part of your body.
I worry that we just were worse than the radio personalities. just
What?
then.
We're on
yeah,
a
some
podcast. It
level.
doesn't matter.
But
We're on a podcast.
we're acknowledging that you should clearly take some time off to spend with your family if you have a kid.
And the Mets fucking suck. I
Mets are
cannot
so
emphasize
bad.
that enough.
Yeah, and sex will never be the same with your wife.
If this, if this happened like mid-September and you were in the midst of a pennant race, I'd still say take 3 days off because your family's more important than your career. But then you'd have a point. The Mets in fucking April? Christ.
yeah.
In other news, Philadelphia Phillies shortstop Jimmy Rollins left his team Wednesday to be with his wife as she gives birth. In response, Philadelphia sports radio host said Jimmy Rollins should have made her get an abortion.
Whoa! Well, it's Philly. Okay, joining us now on the Sports podcast is one William Hogan.
Ah, good eye there, Joe.
Hey, great to have you on
Good
the
eye,
show.
Jordan.
Good day,
Hey.
William. Can we call you
Good to
William?
be-
Is that-
Yeah, you can call me William.
Now you.
The golden voice of Australia.
All right.
We've heard you're a
Yeah.
national treasure. We hear you're always a guy with a point of view.
Kind of like the Ryan Seacrest of Australia.
I would not call Ryan Seacrest a national
Yeah,
That's where you're wrong, Joel.
I'm a bit of
Get up.
an announcer.
Okay.
I like to do a lot of sports
Okay.
Yeah.
because I'm a fast talker.
All right. Well,
All right.
Hey,
well, what's great is this is perfect because you're a broadcaster. You've done a
Aye.
lot of sports. Baseball played their first 2 exhibition games.
Doy.
Well, no, sorry. Regular season games.
regular
Yeah.
season games.
It
Yeah.
was
I
the
was
Diamond.
there.
Yeah, we heard you
Was
were.
there in the Steens.
It was the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Arizona
The
Diamondbacks.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yep.
That is
Those
correct.
are
Aye.
the teams that you saw. We were hoping that we
Saw
could
a couple tough competitors going head to head.
Yes.
Yeah, you did. You got to see Mark Trumbo, the Arizona
Yep.
Diamondbacks.
I Mark Drambo.
Got to see a game pitched by, and it pains me to say this, but it's true, but the best pitcher in the world right now, Clayton
Aye.
Kershaw.
Clinton Kershaw.
You got to see Dodgers closer Kenley Jansen
Kenley Jansen.
and NL MVP Paul Goldschmidt.
They were all very good at the game.
Paul Goldschmidt,
but I have
not
to
the
admit,
NL. He
I
didn't
have
get a
to
single
admit,
first place vote.
I
What?
have to admit, I have to admit,
Yep.
didn't understand a lot of the game.
Yes, we did
It's
hear
a little
that.
bit different than we play sports in Australia.
Okay, all right, yeah, we thought this would be a great chance for us to maybe sort of break down some of those cultural divides
Oi.
and talk about our favorite sport of baseball and how it would
Aye.
appear to you.
Oi. First of all, when they threw the ball at the plate,
Yep.
it didn't come back to him automatically. You know, like a boomerang does.
Okay.
No,
I
no.
know they threw it to the catcher.
yeah.
The catcher had to throw it back.
Right.
That is correct.
Aye.
This
What a
is
weird
interesting.
game. How do they get bananas off of a tray with the baseball? You throw the baseball, it would go away forever.
You might understand that you are unfamiliar with how a ball works.
No, we don't have a lot of balls in Australia.
I'm going to have to quote
Just
you
a
on
lot
that.
of boomerang.
Boomerangs. Yes.
Do they really come back?
The boomerang?
Yes.
They come back, Jordan.
Every time?
Every
It's
time.
the only thing about a boomerang.
You're
is that
born
they
with
come
a
back.
boomerang, you die with the same boomerang. Oi.
We're learning a lot of interesting things about
Oi.
Australia.
Another very confusing thing about baseball.
Okay.
No koalas on the field.
No, it's
Not
just,
even the mascots. None of them was a koala.
Yeah, that's
Oi.
true. Incidentally, I mean,
Very confusing for an Australian.
like
We
there's,
all sitting in the stands going, oi, where's the koalas?
there's no bison on the field for baseball. games in
Another
America.
crazy thing.
Okay.
No kangaroos on the field.
Okay,
Well,
right.
if there's gonna
Also, no dingoes.
if there's gonna be no koalas, I guess it would stand to reason
there would
wouldn't
be also no kangaroos
no
or dingoes.
kangaroos,
Oi.
no dingoes.
Another crazy thing about baseball. No, during the game, no one was drinking beer.
Okay, that is actually pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
no one was. They were all
That's
playing for hours straight.
Oh, you mean the players?
The players, no one was
Okay.
drinking
I
beer.
thought you meant the audience, and I was going to be like, that's on your concessions, people. We definitely drink beer while we watch baseball.
Oi, watching? Yeah. Who was the stands? Full of Australians.
Yeah.
Baseball players. It was like, oi, why you not drinking beer?
Well, you know, it's probably not good to drink beer while you're
Yeah,
playing any sport.
Get
really.
dehydrated. You need your mental faculties.
Another crazy thing about baseball. Played it on a field, not in the outback.
Well, no.
Yep.
Why
They
does
had
that-
it in a confined area.
Right.
We play our sports out in the outback.
All Australian sports are played in the outback.
Except for surfing. And no one was surfing during the game either.
So if you live in Sydney,
Am I
Joel,
boring
Joel,
you?
Jesus.
Come on. Am I boring you?
no.
Let me say this.
Oi, Jordan.
You were very confused by the game.
Very confused.
But I find myself confused when it's 3 a.m. and I'm flipping through ESPN and I see like ESPN2 or ESPNU and I see Aussie rules football.
Dorsey rules football?
Yeah.
What's there not to understand?
Well, I'm just thinking.
Person gets the ball. You hit him. Lots of beer drinking. Koalas sometimes wander on the field. You throw the ball. It comes back. There's dingoes and there's kangaroos. Sometimes people surf in the middle of the game.
Where's it played normally?
In the outback.
Okay, just to confirm.
I did not catch all of that when I'm flipping through channels at 3 a.m.
Oi, you should watch a little closer.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I don't stay on it for more than 2 minutes, so I can't argue with everything you're saying, but okay, so you're more of an Aussie rules football fan, not as into baseball from the sport you saw.
No, I enjoyed it
Really?
because it was the first time in my life I've ever been confused.
You've never been confused.
I was a
before.
physicist before I became an announcer.
Wow, that
Yeah.
was not in your bio.
That's how we designed the boomerang to always come back.
Mandatory physicist school?
Mandatory
The
physicist.
boomerang existed for centuries before you were born, William.
But we perfected it.
Okay.
All right, William. And I think we've gotten about as much
Yeah.
out of you as we can in regards
We
to the baseball
understand
game.
your perspective on baseball.
Jeez, Joel, kind of keep up here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey, sorry that I'm not as exciting as a baseball game to you. Oi. Da hoy hoy. Da hoy. Ahoy.
I
Thank
left.
you.
Well,
thank
he's
you,
coming.
William.
He's coming back
Da hoy hoy.
like a boomerang. You know?
Every time I leave, I come back.
That's gonna be trouble eventually.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sportsman! Weird Sportsman.
Lay it on us.
This week's Weird Sportsman, Mike Tyson.
Ooh, very weird sportsman.
How so you know this gentleman?
Yes,
Not
he's
personally.
All right.
Strikes me as one of the most terrifying people who's ever lived. You watch footage of him at his prime, and you think it's a boxing match. There's all sorts of rules. There's only so many things, and it looks like he's about to kill someone. He's hitting them so hard.
Yes.
It's stupefying.
Yes. Speaking of stupefying, Michael Gerard Mike Tyson, born June 30th, 1966, is an American retired professional boxer. Tyson is a former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
I believe the last undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah, because everyone else, people dispute the hell out of him. And holds the record as the youngest boxer to win the WBC, WBA, and IBF heavyweight titles at 20 years, 4 months, and 22 days old. He was so young and so punchy. Tyson won his first 19 professional bouts by knockout, 12 of them in the first round.
Yep.
Guy's a beast.
He was.
He won the WBC title in 1986 after defeating Trevor Berbick by a TKO in the second round. In 1987, Tyson added the WBA and IBF titles after defeating James Smith and Tony Tucker, the two most unboxingest names ever. Mormon, 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 Mormon. He was the first heavyweight boxer to simultaneously hold the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles and was the only heavyweight to successfully unify them. See, he brings things together.
That was something, Carter and Arafat tried to do. Couldn't.
Yeah. It's true. He won a bunch of stuff. Early life, amateur career, rise to stardom, undisputed championship, controversy, and upset.
Yeah. Rough childhood.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to hear about his rough childhood? I thought it was too sad, so I skipped it.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think we do.
Perfect.
So, well, there's some other sad stuff coming up in the controversy portion. So.
Oh, yeah. Controversy and upset. Tyson's problems outside boxing in 1988 were starting to emerge. His marriage to Robin Givens was heading for divorce, and his future contract was being fought over by Don King and Bill Clayton.
Bill Clinton was doing
Bill Clayton.
Yep.
In 1988, Tyson parted with his manager Bill Clayton and fired his longtime trainer Kevin Rooney, and the man many credit for honing Tyson's craft after the death of D'Amato. That was earlier. Following Rooney's departure, critics allege that Tyson began to stop working the body, relying less on the jab to get inside, clinching more using a peekaboo style, which is very cute. He's the peekaboo style.
I don't think it was that cute when he did it.
Peekaboo, dead in the face. Style sporadically and throwing few combinations. Tyson insisted he hadn't altered the style that made him a world champion, and in 1989, Tyson only had 2 fights amid personal turmoil. He faced British boxer Frank Bruno, more of a boxer name, in February. Bruno managed to stun Tyson at the end of the first round, although Tyson went on to knock out Bruno in the 5th round. Tyson then knocked out Carl the Truth Williams in 1 round in July.
The truth was he wasn't as good a boxer.
That's really true. By 1990, Tyson seemed to have lost direction. His personal life was in disarray amid reports of a less vigorous training prior to Douglas's rematch. In the fight on February 11th, 1990, he lost the undisputed championship to Buster Douglas in Tokyo. An embarrassing place to lose it. Am I right?
Is it more or less? I can't.
No, it's actually a really cool place.
Yeah.
Tyson was a huge betting favorite, but Douglas, priced at 42-1,
Whoa.
was at an emotional peak after losing his mother to a stroke 23 days prior to the fight.
Whoa.
And Douglas fought.
They always say
the fight of his
you
life.
emotionally peak about 20, 25 days after a
20
parent's
after-
death.
to
Yeah.
25. Yeah, it's true. Tyson was a huge betting favorite, but Douglas. Oh wait, I just read that sentence. Contrary to the reports that Tyson was out of shape, sources noted his pronounced muscles, absence of body fat, weighed 220, 21. There's a lot of details in this, but the
Boxers are really
controversy
into
and
that
upset
stuff.
was the Buster Douglas because he was getting all out of
Oh,
shape.
yeah.
Let's move on to the more interesting stuff. Rape, conviction, prison, and conversion.
Yeah.
Here comes the controversy. Tyson was arrested July 1991 for the rape of the 18-year-old Desiree Washington, Miss Black Rhode Island. It's her title, Miss Black Rhode Island. I wasn't being racist.
Wow, they were still doing segregated beauty pageants in Rhode Island in
Yep.
the 90s.
Yep, it's true.
Good to know.
In an Indianapolis hotel room. Tyson's rape trial took place in the Indianapolis courthouse on January 26, 1992 to February 10th, 1992. Short trial. Very
Yeah.
short. Got through it quickly. Desiree Washington testified that she received a phone call from Tyson at 1:36 a.m.
That's a booty call.
That's a booty call. And he invited her to a party. because a lot of the parties happen 1:36 a.m. Having joined Tyson in his limousine, Washington testified that Tyson made sexual advances toward her, and then upon arriving at his hotel room, where the party was, Tyson pinned her down and blah, 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 not going through this. Very depressing.
Pretty
But
terrible.
The important
Wish
thing
that
to
were
know.
a weirder thing for a sportsman to have done.
But the important thing to know, what the end of this was, is Tyson, for doing a nasty thing, got his comeuppance on March 26, 1992. Tyson was sentenced to 6 years in prison, followed by 4 years of probation.
Can you believe that?
No
4
raping
years of
during
probation.
that 4 years. He was
That's
assigned
an
to...
astonishingly short prison sentence, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
You only get 6 years and 4 probation
Oh.
for a raping someone?
This is the important thing, though. He only served 3 of them years.
That's fucking ridiculous.
But during his incarceration, luckily, Tyson converted to Islam.
Okay,
Didn't
that
know
is
that.
good for him.
Didn't know that.
Yep, it's absolutely true.
Doesn't make up for him raping somebody.
But this was his rock bottom moment, right? He really fucked up this one.
Yeah.
But after that comes the comeback, which we will cover
Don't
next week.
call it a comeback, Phil.
What?
Don't call it a comeback.
Wikipedia called this a comeback.
Yeah, but don't call it a comeback.
But we'll hear more about it next time on another Weird Sportsman!
Citizens in Podcast Town, this brings the close of the Sports podcast. But before we go, Australian national treasure William Hogan would like to give you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at sports3podcast. That's at sports3podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching Sports Podcast in your little top bar thingy. You can find us on YouTube by going to youtube.com/comedypodnet. That's youtube.com/comedypodnet. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Go to Stitcher.com today and search for the Sports Podcast. You can find us on iTunes by searching Sports 3 Space Podcast. That's Sports 3, all one word, Space Podcast. You can find all of our back episodes at comedypodcastnetwork.com, or you can now find us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com. Search Sports Podcast.
Thank you very much, William. Really
Yeah.
appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. I'm
William-
going to leave now.
He left and then he came back.
Hey, I'm back.
And there he is again. Maybe if we turn the lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.